In this video, I'm going to show you two example solves using the Yao method. I will go quite quickly and assume that you're quite advanced in your knowledge of 4x4 solving. Alrighty, so let's do a couple of example solves. I've included the scrambles in the video just so you guys can try and follow along if possible. This first scramble has this yellow bar here, so this yellow L shape like that. So I guess what I'd do is probably hold that on the bottom because I'm going to solve the first center as yellow on the bottom, and we can do something like this. So note that we've got these and this one, and also these two white pieces are at the back here, and these two white pieces are at the front, so we can try and inspect for that. So I would do something like R prime D, so R prime D, and then before doing the R to solve the yellow center, I would do an F, R, and then do an F, and then insert that one, and these two pieces at the back weren't affected at all, so this one and this one, so then I would do an R, wide U, and then straight away solve that last white bar. So then I would rotate and look for my first edge, first three cross edges. The first ones that I see are these white and blue ones, so I would do something like this, R, U prime, B, R prime, U to solve those two. And then I've got this one and this one, so I can go U prime, R, U to put them opposite one another, and then R, U prime to match them up. Then I could either do these two or I could do these two. There isn't a super efficient way. This case is a bit awkward, but I'll probably do these two first. So do U, F prime, R to pair them up at the back. Then I would do an L to U to solve them there. And as I did that, I noticed I had these pieces pop up. So these orange ones. So I would go straight away and solve this orange center. So I'd do something like R prime, L, F, R, like that. And then because I've solved this on the top, that's a little bit awkward going into my next one. So I'd actually probably put it on the bottom and then go ahead and solve the green center on the front here. So I can solve these two over to this position by doing those moves. And then all I need to do is solve this remaining last green bar. So I would actually put it on the bottom, put this green center on the bottom by doing a 3R prime, and then U2, R2, U prime, R2 to solve those. And then lastly, I have two more centers left to solve. So I would solve these two over here on the left, and then over rotate U2, R to solve the last two centers entirely. Here I have the last cross edge here and here, the last two cross edges. So I would probably rotate, I don't know. Actually, I'll keep it on the left face for now, the cross. So we'll probably do a U prime, R, insert R prime, and then solve my cross, and then flip it over immediately. And as I was doing that, I'm not sure if I'd noticed that in a solve, but I did notice that these two were already solved, and so is this one. So we actually only have 5 edges left to solve, which is pretty straightforward. Again, I probably wouldn't do this in a solve, but I can see a really easy way of actually solving all of these 5 edges. So, and we'll effectively solve the first 8 edges in just one step. So if I do a U, actually, I notice by doing a U, we pair this one up. And I also notice by doing that U, we pair this one up with this one. So then, the next piece to look for is actually this orange and green one, which is up here. And the next piece after that is the red and blue one, which is up here, so I can insert it into the back. Then when I unslice, we've actually solved all of our 8 edges just now. So that was quite a lucky case, and those are the sorts of things that can come up with Yao. Again, I'm not sure if I'd see that in a solve, but for the sake of showing you how efficient Yao can be, I think that was quite a nice example. And yeah, obviously very easy. You're not going to run into stuff like that very often at all. So then it's time to solve the 3x3 stage. I'd solve this pair into the back, this pair into the front left, this pair into the back, and this pair into the back. And OLL and PLL. And that was a zero parity solve. That probably would have been quite a fast solve. Alrighty, we'll do one more example solve. After doing that scramble, you should have this yellow line of 4 pieces on the right hand side. And so I guess that's what we're going to go with first here. So we've got these 2 other yellow pieces, and we've got this white one on the bottom, white one on the top, white one on the back, and the white one on the left. So, I would probably do something like this. So do a D prime, then a U prime to set these 2 up. And then I would probably do R to set those 2 up, U prime. And then before inserting them, I would probably do this one. So do an F, R, U, R to insert them, because that didn't move either of these 2 at the back and the left. And because those weren't affected, we can easily go straight away and solve them. So we'll do an FU prime. So that pairs these 2 up over here and moves these 2 over to the right hand side, and then insert them. And then I would rotate and start solving my cross edges. So the first ones that I saw were these white and orange ones, and there are actually quite a number of white edge pieces around this immediate vicinity that I can see right here. But I'll probably go ahead and solve these white and orange ones there. Then after that, I think I saw the white and blue. So the white and blue down here and the white and blue up here. L prime, R2, U prime, like that. Then the last one I saw were these white and red ones. So these 2 here, I would go like, to set it up, and then insert. And as I was doing that, I did actually notice that I moved this blue bar to the back, and also that this blue bar appeared on the front. So as I did that, I'll re-grip to put my thumb on this edge and my other 2 fingers on this edge in the back. And what I can do is just do an R2 to place that center there. And then because it's at the top here, I'll probably put it at the back and solve this top center, which needs to be red. So I would solve the line probably over there using these 2, like that. And then move those to the back. And now all I need to do is solve these 2 remaining edge pieces, remaining center pieces into the back right here. And as I'm doing this, I noticed that these cross edges, this last cross edge has actually been formed here. I probably wouldn't try and preserve that. Seems a bit tricky for the moment. As I did those last 2 red pieces, and then I would solve the remaining centers, and with quite an easy case as well. My last 2 cross edges ended up here and here during those last 2 centers. So I can probably just do something like slice, insert that one there, slice, and then solve my cross, and then flip and go straight away into my edge pairing. And I noticed that the orange and green one was actually also on this side. So I can do a U, and then either I can put this one into the front, or I can do a flipping algorithm on this one and match it up with this one when it slices back. In that case, I just did that. Now I'm looking for the blue and yellow, which is here, and then the yellow and red, which is there, and I can flip it in this location so that when I slice back, I've got these 3 edges solved. Now I've got my 4th, the unsolved slot is on the back right here, and I've got this green and red, so I can put the other green and red in there. And notice at the moment, I'm actually not using the front 2 slots. That's just something that you can sometimes do to be a little bit more efficient or a little bit more finger friendly, is, insert into the front right and front back and use those, but it is eventually probably easier to move them over to the front. But for now, I'll do a U and look for this yellow and orange, and the yellow and orange is here. So I can insert those. And then I've got this blue and orange one, and the corresponding blue and orange is there. Slice, and then I need to solve this, look for the blue and red, which is up here, slice back. So actually doing those last 5 edges, I did them using the front right and back right slots as opposed to the 2 front slots. That's something you can do sometimes, and just shows you can, it's actually useful to be quite flexible with how you solve edges and where you solve them, that sort of thing. So 3x3 stage, I'll solve these 2 like that. That's quite fancy. Solve these 2 into the front left. Solve these 2. I'll probably, actually I probably wouldn't see this in a solve, so that's fine. OLL parity. And then PLL. And all done.